An emergency call-out. A woman is being strangled by her partner.
I said to my friend, this is going to end with one of them dying.
Police go to the house, fail to go inside. Hours later, she's found dead.
Our beautiful and loved daughter, Michaela, paid the ultimate price.
Michaela Hall, murdered by a man who abused her for years. The authorities knew all about the abuse, so why didn't they protect her?
And then when she finished school, she started off with Caledonian Airways.
Memories of Michaela, the older sister, the air stewardess, on a night out with her boss Richard Branson. She just wanted to help people.
She never saw the violence in people. She always believed if you were helping someone, they would appreciate it and take the kindness from where it came.
But that kindness led her to this man, Lee Kendall. She met him while working for a charity helping former prisoners. They moved in together, but he was an alcoholic, addicted to drugs, violent, manipulative.
I knew from the off that he was being abusive. She was trying to cover bruises. She was just in sort of spiralling into a very dark place, but trying to hide that from everybody else.
She kept assuring us that this guy is perfectly safe and he would be perfectly fine.
It's like brainwashing. He would tell her that he would only get angry and hit her because he cared about her.
I think in the early stages, I don't think Michaela was aware that she was being manipulated or controlled, if you like.
It just got worse and worse and worse.
May 2021, Kendall gets out of prison. The Probation Service wrongly classify him as medium risk, a fatal mistake. He goes straight back to live with Michaela. 2 weeks later, a final attack.
She was whispering. She didn't know what to do. She said to me that she feared for her life. I asked her if she could get out of the house. She said, no, he's taken the keys. He had walked into the room and you could hear him screaming at her. And then she's obviously dropped the phone as he's hit her. You can literally hear it. I could hear her start to scream, and at that point I hung up because I needed to contact the police.
Claire was living abroad, so couldn't phone 999. In the end, she got through to Crime Stoppers, who then called Devon and Cornwall police. 2 officers went to her house. There'd been numerous call-outs before. They saw nothing, heard nothing, and so they left.
Visions, don't you, of like her lying there with him covering her mouth and stuff. What can you do? She doesn't help herself. Even if we could get in,
that's the frustrating
she
thing.
wouldn't speak to us.
I think that's very scary for the rest of us to think that the police can be called out on an emergency call and not enter a property and leave the victim helpless.
I think it's disgusting. They should have gone in. They should have gone in. There's no two ways about it.
In fact, over the next 18 hours, officers visited 2 more times. They spent just minutes looking through the windows, knocking on the door, but they never tried to get inside. It was a full day after that first emergency call that Michaela's father found her body. He had to get a key from the landlady and went into the house alone.
You should never have had to do that.
At the time, as a father, you do that.
But you shouldn't have been put in that position, should you?
No, you shouldn't.
How does a father live with having to do that?
Well, it's rather me than anybody else.
2 years ago, Lee Kendall was jailed for murder and ordered to serve a minimum of 21 years.
Ajita Jaslero, Alison Stevenson.
Every year,
Lauren
MP
Wilson,
Jess Phillips reads out the
Anita
names of
Kabeba,
women murdered by men,
Jill Hickory,
most of them killed by their
Stephanie
own
Vincent,
partners.
Killed alongside her 9-year-old
In
son.
2021, of course,
Leah
that
Ware,
included Michaela.
Esther Brown, Michaela Hall, Mildred Whitmore, Stacey Clay, Linda Hood.
This is going to continue to happen. It's not the first time. Michaela's not the first. She's one in many, and she's one in many in the future if things don't change.
This is the Michaela her family want to remember, full of fun. You can hear her children egging her on in the background. A woman unable to see that the man she loved wanted to cause her harm. The authorities understood that, but failed to keep her safe.
I'm a great concern for people of domestic violence because there appears on the face of it to be lots of systems in place to support them, and there are genuine people out there that want to help. The problem I've got with it is no one's joining the dots.
Do you think the system's broken?
I use a better word, I think it's bankrupt. I don't think it's fit for purpose.
Just wish I could have done more. And I felt that, I felt that the system had massively, massively failed her, massively, in so many different ways. And I just, you know, the words that I'd said to my friend were ringing in my head. One of them's going to end up dead. This was like 2 days later. Yeah, I think it was inevitable, really, because the system doesn't work. It's broken.
Michaela spent her last years wanting to help people. All I can do, all we can do as a family, is make sure that we carry that through for her. So her death, it must help others.
Thank you.